Welcome to Rauta's Underground Trio episode, whatever, closer to 40 by now. And once again, 3 different albums, 3 different styles. And this time all of these are exactly a little bit older. That is, they are not 2022, 2023 releases, but something from my biggest review pile. And I'm going to go them through in the order of personally ranking them worst to best, as you might already know the style here. Since we have all different styles, it's kind of hard to, compare them to, in terms of quality and all that stuff. So don't take any of my words as some kind of a, judgmental ranking, but figure out which ones are your cup of tea, if any, and go for that. You will find links provided in the description box if some of these releases are something that you find interesting. But I like to put them in the order, so you will find sugar in the bottom of the glass. So first we'll start with this digipack sleeve, or actually it's kind of a digipack. Well, yeah, I guess digi sleeve because it doesn't really have the jewel case tray here, or any kind of tray that is. This one is a Farer with the album called, how do you say it? Let's just take the album, the booklet out of here. Monad. And this is something that was a little bit annoying in my review pile quite some time when I was figuring out what was it, because nothing on the covers say exactly what's the album title. It's kind of a want to be mystic, except that underneath the CD you will find the pocket sleeve, whatever, you will find the CD and then the album name. And of course, you have this piece of cardboard, not really a booklet, but just a cardboard here, which just says Farer Monad. I pardon for this rather grainy image. It's already evening time and the daylight is pretty much gone. So, and I still haven't figured out, I still haven't had the time to put up my new streaming lamps or whatever. Anyway, this is more of sludgy doom, black and sludge kind of stuff. Slow tempo, kind of a dragging, and going with their rather screamier vocals, which are definitely putting you into the category of black metallic things. But when you listen to the actual album, there's very, very little black metal apart from the vocals. Everything is more like pointing to a different direction. People who would call this like black doom, I think they are just a little bit like misleading or then just generalizing too much. In a way, you could say there is somewhat doomy, because for some people, everything that is metal with kind of a slow tempo or not more than mid-tempo is kind of a doom. But I would say this is the kind of a dirtier type of stuff, which is definitely more on the, sludgier side of stuff. It's kind of like as if you were, I don't know, wallowing in a pool of some slime or stuff like that. And that gives this kind of a dirty feeling. Don't get me wrong, that's not a nasty thing, but it's something that you have to be prepared for when you're approaching this. Like compared to traditional doom, where vocals are more clean and the riffs are more or less kind of a heavy metal leaning. Now, this doesn't really have that. And like I said, the vocals are more from the black metal territory, so in case you're looking for some kind of a doom with, to try clean vocals, or even death doom kind of a crawly vocals, you're gonna be disappointed, or at least surprised. But this dirty style, it's not for everybody. It's not really for me, because I'm more about get that groove, get that melodies, get those, riffs that really stick into your brain. And this is more about building up the atmosphere. And for a while that might do the stuff, the job, getting done. But after a while I kind of get bored if it's just a sludgy, dirty, slimy thing. And I'm like, okay, but get somewhere. But you're kind of stuck in the slime, like in a constant motion, but not really going anywhere. And that's my problem with the album. I'm not saying it's a bad one, but it's definitely an acquired taste one, and I don't seem to have that kind of acquired taste. It's almost like blue cheese. Some people will absolutely love it because it's different, and some people, including me, I'm like, no way, Jose, I'm not gonna touch this stuff because it's not for me. So take this as a blue cheese review from a guy who don't like blue cheese. For you, it might be the golden ticket to, I don't know, metal paradise. For the rest of us, not so much. Then we go to a very different territory with a band called Dark Awake, and this album is about 3 or 4 years old by now, called Hekateion. Aesthetic Death release. This kind of puts you already into world of expectations, where you're not expecting some kind of a typical metal release. Well, that thing being said, this is not metal at all. This is actually a combination of dark ambient and I would say ritual ambient. There are parts where you have the kind of a ritual drumming, which is more like let's prepare for some kind of a ceremony or, well, ritual. And lots of parts are then again very minimalistic dark ambient in a way that you're, I don't know, some kind of a darker dungeon or whatever evil place. Kind of like soundtrack to chaos and horror and all that stuff. Well, dark places. And I think this album cover is very, very much giving you the kind of idea where you're getting ready for. It's not a happy place music, but I like it because of that. I like it because it's kind of like nocturnal soundtrack in so many ways. But there are a couple of things which I'm not a fan of. For example, there's this at least one track where these female spoken vocals, and they really sound like impassionate. They're like more like very monotone kind of vocals with kind of an annoying vibe to it. And I'm like, please, getting on with it. Just go away. But some people might find those parts interesting. I've never been a dark ambient fan who likes, rhythmic patterns or who likes pieces of, music structure or vocals. When you have vocals or some kind of a percussion elements, drumming or whatever, I'm like, no, not really my thing. And this album has a little bit of that, both for the ritual drumming parts as well as those spoken parts. But the rest of the album is actually pretty good. I only wish it was all the way around that stuff. But people might find this a little bit weird, especially if you're not coming from a territory which is already like familiar with all kind of ambient, be it ritual type or martial, industrial, or then just dark ambient. But if I got you intrigued, welcome and check this out. The last but not least, the best in the pile is coming from lands of Sweden and United Kingdom. These guys from Murdryck, the name of the band, actually later on moved to different stuff, and it's kind of a Swedish-British connection right there. This is the second album called Födelsen, and now Murdryck is gone. It's been a goner for already a couple of years. I think they really decided to quit around 2020 or so, and the band left a kind of interesting legacy. It was all around for more than 20 years, and during those years they did 2 albums and then some smaller releases. And one could say this is their swan song album, a kind of a legacy. And this is actually pretty good of a black metal album, but not that captivating, not that memorable. But when you're looking for some kind of a Swedish black metal with no melodies, aggressive tempo, be it just like high up tempo or really fast parts, this is your cup of tea. Because everything is like, clinging into that Swedish type of black metal. And this is in fact, indeed, quite a good one. I would say if only the band had kept going, maybe this could be a really good one. But then again, like I said, the guys, at least, of the band kept going. And later on, they ventured into different bands and made, in my opinion, even better music. So I don't know if this is something that we should be missing because, well, there are other bands the guys are now known for and they are doing even better music than this one. But there it is. Now it's up to you to check it out or not. I would say Best in the Pile by Murdryck, second album, and Dark Awake coming an inch behind, and then we have this Fire, which is, in my opinion, the least good of all these albums now, having this in weird ways. But all these 3 albums, obviously, you pick the ones that you're into, and you will find links provided in the description box. Go to check it out, or go to check it not. It's up to you, of course. I'm just giving you pointers, so if you disagree with me, it's totally more than fine. What is more important for you right there is that you will find the good music you are gonna enjoy, like whatever, and but maybe buy. So if you like physical formats, all coming in nice digital packaging, and if you're not, these are also available in digital copies. So decide which way to go, and I hope you are enjoying your listening experience. Rauta signing off.